And we're back. Episode 44. We are going to tentatively title this The Show Must Go On, because for the first time in our 44 straight week history of doing the podcast, we just had a guest cancel. There was a misunderstanding in communication. Some things got lost in translation. And now we're left without a guest. And so now I kind of look like I've hyped up someone who's not here, and I've lied to all of our listeners. Wow.
And to think I couldn't almost make this show.
God damn.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
Yeah.
Hey, Coney
Craziness.
will be on next week though, and we'll get her on.
So we were going to be joined by Poni Capri, who is an awesome female MC that we found. She's from the London, UK area. She's now in the Atlanta area in the US. We were going to talk to her about hip hop, her new single, a bunch of cool shit going on. She is unable to join us because of some prior commitments big misunderstanding. So that's fine. Definitely go check out Poni Capri. She's got an awesome new single that dropped today called Drippers and Schemers. We were going to premiere that with you, but now we're a little unable to. So we're going to do our best and move on and probably provide you the most fucked up show we've ever done.
Man, we got some nuggets though. I feel like this almost opens us up to get a little randy over on the news segment of things, just because, obviously we don't want to completely make fools of ourselves in front of our guests, but fuck, there's a lot of juicy stuff to talk about. I feel like this is I don't know. What do you want to talk about first? What can we dive into? Because our boy's back. I feel like we got to go immediately into our boy, but also I don't want to get too hyped because he's rather disappointing. He falls flat sometimes. I feel like he's dumb, stupid, and possibly dumb for stringing us along as long as he has. And then
6ix9ine Tekashi, our boy.
Say something.
So we finally resurfaced after all this time. He has not been on Instagram since the release and eventual flop of his album. And I understand, the guy came out swinging with his debut. You think you're going to follow it up. The second album did well. And the third one he had a lot of shit against him. The media working against him. iTunes working against him. Billboard working against him. And he actually sold more copies of that album, Tattletales, than we're even told, because Billboard disqualified a bunch of the sales. I didn't get an exact reason, but I can only imagine that the sales were part of maybe a t-shirt bundle of some sort. And if you combine clothing, then it is not an album sale. So if you notice that with like the bands we listen to, they operate on a smaller scale than mainstream artists, so they tend to have merch bundles for the fans to cop, and they'll include maybe like, you'll see more commonly vinyl and something else instead of just an album, a CD and something else. They want to sell those CDs. They have to be registered as a solo CD sale so they can, most of the artists we listen to, like those bands, if they don't make over 25, 35,000 copies in the first week, they're dead. They're dead in the water. The label will pull the promotion they've already started running to salvage the money because they're not going to see a return on the investment, and they stop. And so 6ix9ine got caught up in all that shit, and he decided to take a break from social media. I don't blame him. That's his game. And he resurfaced last night, 2 nights ago? It was 2 nights ago, right?
2 nights ago.
He's got a ton more ink on the chest and the back. And
the
only way...
It sounds like a coloring book.
It looks decent, and I say that because he's a rapper.
His face is rainbowed, like almost on both sides, but I mean, that kind of annoyed. I was like, 6ix9ine, you're going deep, man. But I mean, his whole back, his belly.
His belly.
Everything. Oh, man.
I mean, it's like a prerequisite that if you're going to be a rapper, you have to get a face tat.
Yeah, you do.
Like,
at least some sort of accessory.
Everyone, like, I can't go out there and drop the same shit Lil Uzi Vert does, because it's not going to make sense coming from me without the face tats. Or I got nothing.
Yeah.
While we're on that subject,
we're skipping the 6ix9ine. We're skipping Gooba Part 2.
Is there a Gooba Part 2?
I mean, that's what that song sounded like. No. Dumb, stupid. He said dumb, stupid 5 times in that song.
He should just start sampling himself and make his own samples his hook.
Dumb.
Oh my god, it's funny.
All right, on to Lil Uzi Vert, please.
All right, 6ix9ine into the pass.
I have the best response to the Lil Uzi Vert news as well. So once we break it,
God,
I'm gonna give you the best response I've heard.
Okay. Lil Uzi Vert, everyone's favorite rapper, decided that face tats and jewelry are simply not enough.
No, sir. No.
And he decided to get a $24 million pink diamond embedded in his forehead. Right there, Brian. Right there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
He says if the diamond's not removed properly, he could die. And I wouldn't tweet that out because the music you make could have some detractors.
I mean,
the last thing you want is somebody with a crowbar trying to pry that diamond off your forehead.
When you told me that, when you initially said, made the comment that he could die, I thought he was referencing him getting blasted for it because my guy, walking around with some pretty.
They were saying that before he ever said he was in danger.
There's a fucking stand up, no pun intended, Mitch Hedberg joke where he says, "I knew a guy once that had a lot of piercings on his face." Or he had a lot of facial piercings, as I'd like to call them. You have a bunch of shit on your face or something like that. And he dumbed it down, right? And that's literally what Lil Uzi Vert has in the middle of his forehead, okay? Listen, Vision, I don't need you out here trying to fucking call the shots with your bling. And he mentioned it. First of all, I thought it was lopsided. I thought it was like, he's got the bigger bar in it, right? And people were like, look at it, it's all crooked. And I thought he got it lopsided. And I was like, Lil Uzi Vert, how do you not have a fucking professional put this goddamn diamond in your head? I thought he was like getting it done in his kitchen. I was like, why are you spending $24 million on
the diamond costs $24 million, but the installment at Claire's only costs $14.
I was like, what are you doing? You're homemaking this forehead diamond? Why? Why? But then he's like, it's just a big bar. It'll get smaller once it starts healing. And I'm like, okay, that makes sense to me.
Did he have a tattoo or some sort of like birthmarking on his forehead? Because where the diamond is, it looks very funky. Like it already looks weird because you have a diamond in your head. But we've seen in Indian cultures, a lot of women have that, albeit smaller and not 24 million. And it's kind of the norm over there. I'm looking at Uzi's forehead. Bro, his forehead looks very strange around it. Like, he looks really fucking ugly.
So I might be, this might be my idea, my stoner thought coming out.
Here we go. We're canceled.
A part of me thinks that he's trying to tap into some third eye bullshit. He's trying to get really stoned. Have you ever been so stoned where like you almost think you have like a third eye there and you just start like, I don't know, getting extra woke? Some like to call it diet woke. I feel like if you're really that woke, how else would you harness some sort of universal energy than this fat Pink Panther diamond right in the middle of your fucking dome? Like literally, it's fucking, I mean, I like it. I'm not mad at this at all. I'm a little afraid for him. I'm afraid that someone's going to try to take it, although it's a very recognizable diamond, and I can't imagine somebody just yanking it and then trying to go sell it somewhere. This is something that you're keeping like on your mantle to say, hey, look what I got from Lil Uzi Vert. Second, I hope that there isn't any type of consequences in having this thing. I hope he doesn't get like any type of lead poisoning. I hope nothing weird happens. Again, if he removes it the wrong way, it could cause some issues. That would be unfortunate. I mean, he's obviously getting the accessory to stunt. He fucking looks great in the studio with a matching pink fucking jacket on and fucking, it's great, man. The best response to this. The best response to Lil Uzi Vert getting a $24 million diamond in the middle of his forehead as an accessory. The best response to that was, who the fuck is Lil Uzi Vert?
What about Uzi Vert? I'm sorry, I was reading a text message. Are we doing a podcast still?
Oh my god, that was such a great joke. Ah, yeah, you fucking should be canceled, son. Hey, if you heard that joke, he just booted himself. If you heard that joke and you thought that was a quality fucking joke, you better let Matt know. You better hit
If
us
you
up.
like that joke, then you need to pick up the phone, dial 1-800-AMERICAN-IDOL-4 and vote for that joke right now. Look, if you want that joke to get on to the next round, we need your votes. That joke needs your votes right now. This ain't Justin Guarini and Kelly Clarkson. That vote is getting eliminated.
Justin Guarini. You need to tweet.
You know Justin Guarini is a little sweet, right? Sweet.
Hashtag metalcore Twitter and at Matt Musselwhite, at Musselwhite said, and at iHateTheScene. We'll give it to you at the end of the fucking show, and you let them know how great of a fucking setup, I fucking set that up at the beginning of the fucking news drop.
Quality joke right there, Jordan Tupper says.
Jordan Tupper, thank you. I appreciate you, sir. Ah, shit.
They're just kissing ass because they think you're going to give them a fucking t-shirt. They don't even know we don't have t-shirts yet.
I didn't say anything about t-shirts.
It's implied. It's the implication.
Oh, Chris Lieben on bare knuckle. That's right. Oh, dude, fuck this. Hey, cancel.
I didn't even know what any of that meant.
Paige Van Zant's fighting tonight too. Did you see her almost choke a bitch? That shit was crazy. Shout out, John. What's up?
Oh, yo, I'm subscribed to Paige Van Zant's OnlyFans.
Yeah, how's her twat?
Very muscular.
Is it? Do you see it? Do you actually?
I mean, dude, if her labia is not injecting steroids, then it's at the gym all the time.
What the fuck? Are you serious? You see her puss? Are you?
No, I'm not serious. God, where's
man.
Justin Jack to intervene when we need him?
Fuck, man. I was about to go subscribe to some shit, man. I was about to go. I was like, what? You're seeing Paige Van Zant box on OnlyFans?
I'm just gonna get a text in the middle of the night that says I'd suck farts.
PVZ box. Paige Van Zant box.
Oh man. Brian, we're allies, okay? We can't sexualize women this much. You're going to hell, dude.
Hey, this is a winger episode, guy. Listen, okay?
We have Winger on the episode? Dude, if we had Winger on this episode, we would be fine.
Winger? Oh, shit. All right.
Your favorite band is Winger? And all you eat is zingers.
Oh, please stop.
Do you know what song that's from?
No.
That is from one of America's greatest duets ever between Fred Durst and Jonathan Davis, a little song called All in the Family. It is a lovely Korn Limp Bizkit duet about incest.
Yeah, All in the Family.
Yeah, great song.
I would have to go back and listen to that.
If you ever wondered what a song by Jonathan Davis and Fred Durst rapping about butt fucking one another would sound like, now you know. Would you ever get that diamond shit embedded in your head?
I thought about that, right? And here, if you really want my artist...
Is that a Galaxy S5?
No, it's an iPhone, son, and I'm streaming bare knuckle boxing. Get at me, son. Let's go. Let's go, Chris Lieben.
Our fans do not cross over with bare knuckle boxing.
I bet they do. We have one in the fucking audience. John Comp. Shout out John Comp. Let's go, baby. I would, if I had the money, I would probably flex that for a little bit, but I would have to make sure that it could be removed because there's no way I'm going to be 50 walking around with a diamond in my head. I'm not going to be an old man with a diamond in my forehead. Listen, Lil Uzi Vert, I appreciate the accessory. Hey, man, have fun with it for the next couple years. You have it in your head, and then when you take it out, hopefully maybe give it to like your daughter one day on like her wedding day or something. Keep it in the family, my dude.
Who says that?
But not in your head.
Hey, so this guy's name is John Comp. What if instead of his first name being John, his first name was World Star Fight, and then his last name was Comp? That'd be cool.
John definitely does World Star Fight. Shout out, John. If you want to get in, I'll send you a link. John, you and me can host the show. I know we've talked about doing a podcast together. Chris Lieben is about to throw down.
Yeah, you're gonna do a corporate takeover on my own podcast. Yeah, I'd like to see that happen.
New World Order.
Mark World Order.
I'll do a New World Order on the fucking Mark World Order. That's great.
All right, so
real quick, can I bring this wrestling?
Bring it up because I'm about to go ape shit on a shock rocker in a minute.
This is on the shock rocker?
Yeah, on a fucking shock rocker.
Yeah. Okay, so do you remember back in like the mid 2000s days?
I don't remember the mid 2000s at all.
In the Ring of Honor, do you ever go back to like Ring of Honor days, like 2010, maybe 9? Do you ever go back that far when like Colt Cabana and CM Punk were in Ring of Honor? Do you remember those days?
I wasn't watching it regularly by any means.
Okay.
At that point I was only able to read about it. But now you can go back with the Honor Club and go back and watch it. Um, yeah, I basically have read about Ring of Honor since its inception, but it
Okay.
wasn't until like 6 years ago I was ever even able to watch any of their broadcasting.
My memory is a little fuzzy on this, and I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to. People are gonna have to look this up. But shout out to JJ because he's the one that showed me this. But there's an old DVD series or like live stream series that used to go around, and it followed like CM Punk, Colt Cabana, and I want to say like Daniel Bryan, right? Uh, and they Colt Cabana, I'm almost positive is the guy, said that he could always sneeze with his eyes open. And it was like this urban legend, and like obviously that is right. If you sneeze with your eyes open, your eyes pop out of your head. That's been like the myth, and like people can't do it; they're afraid to do it, whatever. And he would say like through the web series, "No, I can do it. I can do it." And there would be times where like he'd sneeze, and like people would be like, "Oh shit!" and the camera would be on there, or like they'd be on him, and like he'd have to sneeze, and then he wouldn't be able to sneeze. And then so finally they catch it on camera and he's like, guys. And like they fucking go over and they zoom in on him and he's sitting there and he sneezes and he leaves his eyes open while he sneezes. And like they're like, oh, they start freaking out. It was pretty great. I thought you might appreciate that being a wrestling mark. But now you're just eating.
Did you know CM Punk and Colt Cabana don't even get along now? They
Yeah,
sued each
like,
other.
they're currently in court, like against each other.
No,
right?
they settled. Well, it got finalized. It got finished with. But yeah, they're not friends anymore. They used to be. I don't know, man. It's interesting because Colt's a really nice guy, fan favorite. Those are the ones that tend to be the biggest two faces in the game. Not saying he is. I've never met the guy. I know nothing about him. Interesting though. Also, did you know CM Punk tried to buy Ring of Honor when it was going through financial troubles about 10, I don't know, maybe less than 10 years ago?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
What prevented that?
Sinclair Broadcasting bought it. They had more money.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so Sinclair Broadcasting owns a ton of Fox networks in the U.S. And when you go to watch SmackDown on Friday nights, the very last commercial before that SmackDown intro is a Ring of Honor commercial every single time.
That's pretty cool.
It's smart.
Yeah.
We could talk wrestling all day, like how New Japan and AEW have a working relationship, and Kenta showed up and beat the shit out of Jon Moxley.
Your Jay White clips you sent me earlier were pretty dope too.
I'm getting really obsessed with King Switch, Jay White. Yeah, Switchblade, man, he's the shit. Yeah, look it up if you know wrestling. Switchblade Jay White's the shit. I wanna air out someone. You know, the biggest news of the week. Oh shit! Hold on. I can't wait for Edge to lose at WrestleMania and go back into retirement like the old fuck that he is.
Dang, yeah, we can maybe talk about that. The Royal Rumble. I was a little
shouts to
disappointed.
having a wrestling commented at all.
Yeah, shouts.
Definitely, like watching Edge, it feels weird because whenever I see a guy come back from injury, I'm always worried, like, okay, don't do anything crazy and get hurt again. But he just looks old. I'm not excited to see him. I'm glad he's back so he could get his little exit that he wanted, but I don't know. It's just weird. It's something about his face. He looks old in the face. It bothers me.
Yeah, and it didn't really get injured. Anytime a guy really, really gets injured bad and comes back, we saw what happened with like Bret Hart. Like him coming back was not a good idea. Daniel Bryan had his concussion issue. He came back. I worry about Edge said he had a pretty bad spinal injury or neck injury or whatever it was and back, and it would suck if he took a wrong bump and, got fucked up again. I don't like that shit. It's like a fighter coming back, like, man, you're already out. What's the point? You have money. But
I think it's because you don't get to dictate the end of your career. It's told to you, you can't wrestle anymore. It's over. Him and Christian had to both deal with that, and they didn't get to go out the way they wanted. The original plan was that they were going to feud and retire each other. I don't know what the plan is now because he showed up on NXT and he showed up on SmackDown. He's just teasing with a feud with all the champions. Yeah. Honestly, if you want to execute this the right way, I don't think it's logical to put the belts on him. I personally want to see an Edge and Christian tag team run for them both to retire, go out that way, because I don't want to see you take away Kevin Owens' spot from Roman Reigns. I don't want to see you take away Drew McIntyre and The Fiend or Randy Orton or whoever's involved with that title over there. You know? And I don't want to see Karrion Kross, Finn Balor, Pete Dunne get kicked out of the title match in NXT.
I think him and Finn would be a dope little feud. I think Edge and Finn Balor is the way to go because
Finn Balor and Edge would be cool.
Finn can still put him over if he needs to go over. He can put Finn over. Finn could easily take on a ruthless fucking Edge. Homeboy in the comments over here, Kevin Owens. I agree. Yeah, Kevin Owens he could face. That'd be dope. Although I don't want to put him against anybody that's just gonna fuck him up. You know, that's just again. I feel like I just saw fucking Chris Lieben knock this motherfucker out. I feel like you can't be old and be in and out. You got to either be with it or not. So Edge, I hope
the only reason I don't want
WrestleMania.
Yeah, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that, but I don't want to see Edge in the NXT title picture because I think Finn Balor and Karrion Kross could have a very interesting feud. And although NXT feuds don't last that long, they could have a feud that could last the whole goddamn year. Karrion Kross is a real-life bodyguard for diplomats. In the wrestling world, he is an assassin. He is a scary assassin from hell. I mean, this guy would have had a field day if he was in WWE during the ministry days. It'd be real interesting. Karrion Kross is the future, dude. I don't know how much you've actually seen of this guy, Killer Kross, Kevin Kross. He's been in MLW, he's been in AAA, he was in Impact for a while. He actually left Impact because he refused to do a Blade job and it voided his contract.
Dang, he doesn't Blade or what?
Well, I don't know if it's an outright refusal to Blade or if it's simply because that was not in his contract, that was a violation, that he's not contractually obligated to Blade for you. So whether he said no outright or no on the specific time, they wouldn't get over that. They held him hostage and then they finally let him go. That was at the same time when they had Austin Aries and then he left the company unceremoniously. I mean, a bunch of shit happened. Hopefully all that wrestling talk hasn't made all our music fans.
Bye-bye, they're out.
Yeah, they're fucking gone.
See ya.
The biggest news from this week, and if you know anything about me, you know I've been fighting on Facebook all week as soon as I got my rights back and unbanned. Marilyn Manson. Marilyn Manson has been outed as an abuser by his ex-fiancée, Rachel Evan Wood. There's been people like his manager was the last one to come out, sever ties with him, and support the victims. Dita Von Teese came out, said some confusing comments that she never witnessed abuse. Wes Borland, former Limp Bizkit and Marilyn Manson guitarist, Wes Borland. He's the person I take the most exception with in all of this because Wes came out, said he stood with the victims, and that everything, quote, everything you've ever heard about him is fucking true. So, this means that Wes Borland witnessed abuse and never reported it or spoke up.
That's not true. He could have. It just gets snuffed. Stuff gets snuffed.
If he spoke up, it was internalized and it never got out. And someone's obviously trying to save face with Manson there. Being in the touring world, I fully understand that you work with the biggest artists you can get your hands on because that's who's going to have the money. That's where your career goes if you're working upward. You find that cash cow and you start working with them and you will defend them through tooth and nail to keep that cash cow to provide for you. So people in the industry are not typically the ones that out other people. They're all complicit because they're either in a band with him, making money from him in some form, friends with him, whatever the manner is. There's been rumors and talk of Manson being an abuser for years and years. Dare I say there's been 2 decades where people have been saying this shit.
I mean, yeah.
Okay, I take a problem with this. Marilyn Manson accusations are fake. His ex-wife came out and said that's not how shit was. No, that is an inaccurate statement. Dita Von Teese came out and said that she never witnessed any abuse in her relationship. That does not mean that abuse did not happen. She could only speak to what she's witnessed. Otherwise, you're a liar. But everything was done with consent. You do not know that. And this is interesting to me because this is the arguments I get when I argue with Manson fans. People rationalize, they compare. I've seen people compare it to, well, why is Manson being canceled when Chris Brown is still on the radio? Those aren't comparable. Like, we don't know exactly like the extent of Manson's abuse. We do know the extent of Chris Brown's. And that all came out as soon as it happened. Manson's abuse has been hidden for so long.
I mean, no, he does have allegations stemming over 2 decades, lawsuits even. I mean, didn't homegirl that was in Ready to Rumble had allegations against him back in the day, but it was like that he was an abuser. Fucking Rose McGowan.
Oh yeah.
You know, and that was long ago. He had a lawsuit, I think, in the early 2000s, right after like Freak Show or whatever came out. You know, and I believe it was like sexually related. It is unfortunate. I mean, it's all equally bad. Chris Brown, Marilyn Manson, abuse is abuse, and I feel like
we're not excusing either one. I'm never going to excuse what Chris Brown did to Rihanna.
Right. And there is something to be said for even allowing them to have avenues after the fact. You know, we want to talk about not allowing people to have platforms. I think it's funny that certain people get censored and other people don't. And the acts are almost equally as, gross or equally as nefarious, and to allow some people to go on with their careers. It's just all power, and that's gross. But I think it's fair based on all of the stuff in the past and all the stuff that's coming to light over the last couple of days that he is on his way out getting canceled, and that's unfortunate because I was a Marilyn Manson fan. And
his manager has dropped him. His label has dropped him.
They had a welfare check on him, according to TMZ.
Yeah, they sent police over there because I guess I don't really know why. I don't know if someone actually got word that Manson was going to self-harm or kill himself.
They hadn't heard of him, I guess.
Yeah.
A friend called because people had been trying to get in touch with him. They couldn't hear. Nobody had heard from him. And then apparently his publicist came out and said that he just didn't want to come out. He wanted to be left alone, but he is okay. So.
I take exception with Wes Borland because it feels like you're kind of trying to be the hero and be an ally by supporting these victims, but you were complicit for so long that I could never look at you like that. Like, it's great that you're going to speak the truth now, but years ago, you could have, no one, the problem is 20 years ago, nobody in the music industry was concerned about this. They did not care how women, fans, groupies, whatever you want to call them, they did not care how they were treated. We're now looking at Marilyn Manson and women and celebrities that he abused and still nothing got out. They're all complicit. They're all complicit. And the music industry has been that way for years. And if this costs me jobs in the industry, then so be it, because I don't want to work with fucking rapists. They are all complicit by not speaking up. You could have any reason for doing so. Your livelihood, your money, your career, whatever. I understand it, but it doesn't make it okay. Because somebody was being abused, and you didn't do anything to help them, and you didn't do anything to prevent further victims. So when I see Marilyn Manson fans on Facebook saying things like, Chris Brown did stuff, or Jimmy Page raped girls when he was popular. You cannot rationalize to excuse abuse. You cannot compare abuse to excuse it. You can't excuse abuse. There's no excuse for it.
Our fans over in the chat, I think, think differently.
I'm reading it and I'm seeing what he's saying, and the problem I have with it is that some of this rhetoric is the same rhetoric I was hearing from the Manson fans, when at the end of the day, when it all gets said and done,
say he's a Manson fan.
They didn't actually have a point. They just didn't want Manson to get canceled. That's it. They didn't want to say like the victims are liars or this and that. They just want their Manson back. That's it. That's all they're concerned about. So let me just try to.
Yeah, he did say that some of them are
This
lying.
is the mentality that made the music industry so toxic in the first place. Quote, these bitches were probably groupies back in the day and got treated as such. He's probably smacked a bitch, but I don't think he's a rapist. Look, I have heard plenty of people say all week long, what did these girls expect? It's been out there. He's always talked about it. It doesn't matter. You are actively looking for any reason and excuse so that you can dismiss the abuse. That's it. You're not trying to get to the bottom of it or find truth. You just want to dismiss it, and it's not okay. He abused somebody. He needs to address that shit, and he needs to make statements, apologies. It'd be nice if there was something criminal done, but statute of limitations probably isn't going to happen. Probably not going to let that shit happen. Yeah, it's appalling. And I'll say this. If Manson's innocent, because everyone's innocent until proven guilty, although I want you to keep in mind, this is not a court case. This is not a criminal case. So when you see him being canceled by the court of public opinion, that's all we can do, because we can't bring him up on charges. So he's just getting canceled, and rightfully so, because the truth always has a funny way, like cream, of rising to the top. The truth always comes out. It could be in a year, it could be in a day, it could be in 5 minutes. I honestly believe if Manson's not an abuser, the truth would have already leaked out, that he could have confidently said, these accusations are lies. Because that's what you say when someone lies on you. You say, these accusations are lies. He never... Did he say that? I don't think he said that, did he? Did he say they weren't true? Jamie, look that up. We gotta look that up. I gotta look it up. I gotta figure out what his statement is, because he might have actually denied this shit. He didn't even release a statement?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, so I'm looking into it.
I'm pretty sure this guy completely left our live stream.
I mean, that's fine. You know, we didn't need him in here anyways.
We're thankful for all our fans, but I have an issue with some of the comments.
Oh,
These bitches were probably groupies back in the day and got treated as such.
He did. He said, obviously, this is Manson's Instagram. Obviously, my art and my life have long been magnets for controversy. It's not long. But these recent claims about me and my horrible distortion are horrible distortions of reality. My intimate relationships have always been entirely consensual with like-minded partners. Others are now...
It's easy to come out and say, I have this image. And the fans are going to back that up. Well, he's got that image.
So there are a couple instances where his sex life has been brought up in the past, specifically a book that I believe either Rose McGowan or
He bragged about having a rape room.
He is very, very promiscuous.
The word rape signifies no consent. So when I see comments like this, I just think these girls consented to the treatment they were subjected to, but because shit like this is trending now, they decided to come out. I don't believe that's true. I believe that you could fully get involved with Marilyn Manson, become sexual with Marilyn Manson, and still have no idea that abuse is incoming. Why would somebody abuse you? Why would they mistreat you? Why would you assume that that's going to happen? That's like me assuming that The Rock is going to save the world because he saved it in every fucking movie. It's not logical.
It's a weird comparison. I mean, what do we argue? I just don't want to go. There's a couple different points there. We're kind of on different topics. I mean,
I want to address all of it. I want to shit all over Manson because I never had a problem with him and his music. I mean, I think shock rock is a stupid name and a stupid idea. Alice Cooper invented it. It worked for him. But Manson, I look at and he put out a song and it's like, okay, that sounds cool, but it holds no substance to me. It means nothing to me. The lyrics don't really even mean anything. Like, he just does shit for you to go, oh, wow.
I think there's almost a point, though. I mean, and this is just me, honestly, because I'm not excusing this at all. I'm mad, but I can't go in as hard on Marilyn Manson just because of the very public sex life he does have. And for a lot of celebrities, that part of their life isn't as public as, you know, it isn't in the public ever. And then when something like this or cheating allegations or adultery or whatever come out, it's a shock when everybody on the planet fucks and has a sex life. People, like, it's not, you know, and however, Manson has had a very public facing sex life. You know, it's been written about, and it again, yes, it's no secret that he's been on the fringe of the alt lifestyle, right? And the reason I'm using these terms is because rape is a very fascinated subject. Yes, rape is also bad, but rape is also a huge subject of a sex market. And what I mean by that is there's rape porn, there's rape toys,
Oh
there's
yeah.
play classes. Rape is a fringe fetish thing. And yes, when you are a famous person, those lines can be blurred, especially when you have grab 'em by the pussy mentality. When you're rich and famous and you can just do whatever you want around women, that doesn't excuse it. But when you have that aura about yourself, yeah, people tend to let you do whatever you want, and that doesn't okay it. However, when at
You're
what
saying he
point
got drunk with power that they allowed him?
at what point are we going to recognize that drunk with power and people allowing that to happen happens in Hollywood? And Hollywood as a bubble is gross and disgusting. And I think it's safe to say that the way that a lot of portions of Hollywood have been defunded over this pandemic are kind of eye-opening in a lot of ways. And people wonder why there's child sex slavery and there's child trafficking, because this kind of shit is what goes on in this kind of world. Like, rich and powerful people do these things. And it's frustrating when Marilyn Manson gets raked over the coals. But yes, you have a Chris Brown or you have other abusers on the other end of the spectrum that are being excused or that are being alleviated of their troubles because maybe they've given back in a way. I'm a Marilyn Manson fan in terms of music. I've grown up with Marilyn Manson. I've seen Marilyn Manson live. And as someone that I actually looked to as almost a role model in terms of how
Oh
he carried.
my god.
Listen, in terms of how he carried, and maybe not role model is a bad word, but he carried himself in a way that was like, man, he's not afraid to have these very personal aspects of his life public facing. And when that happened, I was like, it's Marilyn Manson. What? Okay, rape is obviously bad. What are these allegations? And then I'm a huge Rachel Evan Wood fan. I love that girl. And it breaks my heart to know that she could have been abused, right? And you know, when I read that particular incident, I was like, that sucks. And you know, you did hear this though in the past, and what you heard in the past was that he was just a very like promiscuous person. And again, that's all
you heard that he liked it rough and that it was supposed to be weird.
It's all gross. It's all disgusting and it's all bad. And when are people just going to recognize that we shouldn't excuse any of it? We shouldn't discard any of it unless we're really going to start paying attention to shit. Because there was just a bust in like upper state New York, and 3 or 4 of the people had executive connections with licensing firms in California. Those are all agencies, people, managers. Come on, like it's people think it's conspiracy and it's weird, but it's also very real. Like, sex sells. When you open up Stranger Things, the biggest show in Netflix history, season 3, with 13-year-olds making out, there's a reason. And I've said it before.
I remember celebrities even flirting with the guy, I don't know the kid's name, and the girl, Millie Bobby Brown, both underage, basically saying, hey, you know, you're people flirting with them because they like the show. Hollywood has a very strange connection to pedophilia.
It's gross. It's not a strange connection. It's a connection. It's just somewhere along the lines hushed and normalized. But come on, Weinstein, he's an entire empire of actresses and film was on rape.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
You think it was just him? He just happened to be the biggest pig, I'm sure. Like, come on.
I see comments like this. I don't know, man. I just feel like these girls consented and later regretted it. Yes, this does happen. I know someone that's happened to, and he still got canceled.
I take regret all the time.
I do not. When I read Rachel Evan Wood's story, I don't feel that consent was regretted later.
Because it's
I feel she was groomed and abused.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You know, and you get that with people that are listen, with power comes responsibility. That's a very real thing. And hey, yeah, when you are a fucking rock star, you can say literally the most outlandish things and people will do it. Like, people don't understand the power that comes with being a celebrity. They don't understand it. They think they know.
Disgusting.
Just like we think affluent people who know the struggle, right? When then you hear like somebody thinks a fucking bag of chips is $38 and you're just like, oh man, you're in a completely different bubble.
Last week, Billie Eilish thought Fruit Loops were $35 a box or some shit.
Exactly. Yeah, that was and like, hey, we're the exact same way. You think we know what rich people think? Nuh-uh, man.
No, we hella don't.
a rich person or a celebrity or someone that someone fans over is like the kind of person someone will break in and hide out in your house for. Like, you know, the Johnny Depps, the weirdos, right? Anybody that's you're fascinating, that someone can fascinate over that much, they can literally command someone to do outlandish shit and people will do it. Somebody shot a president because they thought a fucking actress wanted them to.
Taxi Driver's not even a good movie, but if somehow, like, oh god, what's her freaking name? She was like 14 in the movie. She was underage. Jodie Foster. The dude's obsessed with Jodie Foster, and so Taxi Driver, the movie, told him to shoot Reagan to impress Jodie Foster, who's a fucking teenager. All the bullshit today of Marilyn Manson fans deflecting and dismissing this.
This guy goes, Marilyn Manson is trash. I'm not a fan.
Yeah. This has all been a great reminder on why the word fan is short for fanatic. Because you're a fanatic. When you're a fanatic, you're not logical. You're excusing all the bad behavior to keep your Manson.
Son, the Wesley Snipes movie, The Fan, when he's the baseball player and Robert De Niro is the fucking psycho fan that freaks out about him. Yes, full circle.
Underrated.
How can we not call this episode The Fan?
Oh man, we need to get Wesley Snipes on this pod.
Whoo, IRS problems, son. Hey, don't get him on the pod. I gotta pay taxes, son.
The shit with Manson bothers me so much because I see people taking the wrong stance, and it's not a matter of opinion. You either side with the victims or you don't. Like you can side with victims and still have your doubts. But to come out and say those victims lied or to say they did it for clout or attention, that's not accurate. To say that they piled on after one claim is not accurate. Rachel Evan Wood comes out and says she was abused. Dita Von Teese comes out and says that she never seen any abuse. Sharon Osbourne comes out and says that she has a working relationship with Manson. I think she's going to take a hit for saying that. So there were definitely people coming out and not piling stories on when it could have been easy as shit to do so.
Can I just make a crazy claim too? And if I get canceled, I apologize.
Fuck, here we go.
But Dita Von Teese. Who's to say she's not a little bit of a freak, right? Who's to say she's not going to go out there and say, nah, my sex life with Manson was fine because she's the kind of woman that maybe like is in that submissive kind of role,
very
right?
Plausible.
And that's why your anger with the people that are like, oh, they're fucking liars. Listen, you're not thinking before you speak. You're the type of person that reacts and speaks without thinking and going, okay, are they really liars? Do I know if they're liars? Nah. Will I ever know? Probably fucking not. So maybe that shouldn't be my opinion. Maybe my opinion should be a little bit more complex than just that. But
we're also talking about these are celebrities. These aren't people that desperately need attention. Like, look, does Rachel Evan Wood, does she need attention? She's got a career. People know who she is. She can make a Twitter or an Instagram post and get attention. So I don't look at this and see that. No. Now there's definitely been times in the past that you can look and be like, okay, well, there's something on. Like, I don't know. I this doesn't feel like a trend to me. Like, if this is a trend, and this has been the going story with Manson, as we said, for 20 years.
It doesn't make sense to be just Manson.
Why the fuck did it take 25 years to cancel the motherfucker? Like, why wouldn't it have come out sooner?
And you know what is
it ain't no trend.
And I don't know the actual, what sucks about these is they're allegations, right? And then a lot of them get swept under the rug a week or two later when new ones come out or shit. And we don't really know how they pan out or what really happens until we hear years later, right? What sucks is there's so many of these nowadays is you can kind of sit back and go, I'm kind of buying this one. Nah, man, this is bullshit. I don't think this is accurate. I think these chicks are just over here fucking claiming, or this person's claiming, like the Smollett thing. People smelled bullshit on that one right away, right? And so when you've got this like weird, so many of this is happening at once, and you can do that, does it is that going to eventually impact how serious we take these allegations? Because again, he's had allegations in the past. He's been in court in the past. When I heard about it, I was like, what are the claims? Because to hear it about Manson, it's almost like, yeah, he's a fucking freak, but like rape? Like, are you sure it just wasn't like some weird rough shit? Are you sure it
I
wasn't
read
like
it and I thought to
some
myself,
weird-
finally.
Are you sure? Or there's the, well, yeah, it's Manson, so finally. But it pushed
Exactly,
him
but they're excusing it. It's like, well, duh, it's Manson. You got what you asked for. None of that is acceptable.
That's gross. That's gross. I'm almost like the finally like
I
the
mean,
West
finally he's
Borland,
caught.
yeah, the West Borland in the scenes finally, right? Like there are those people that did know about it, or there's like the people that are just caught off guard by it. Where it's like fucking Manson. Like, are you sure it's just not some weird shit? He was. It's very possible he was in a sex cult. Those exist, and if he was, then hey, it's a sex cult. That's a thing. That's weird. You can't excuse it, but hey, maybe he was in one, and then that's just like some weird thing, right? Or maybe he does have some weird rape role play things, and it is just nonsense. But either way, you go, man, Manson. I gotta dig on that one because it does make sense, but at the same time, it almost doesn't make sense at the same time. What would suck is when we start getting these allegations and people just don't care. People are just like, I don't give a fuck if they're fucking guilty or not guilty. I don't give a fuck if they're getting raped. I don't give a fuck if this thing's going on.
That to me, I wish this wasn't true, but I feel like a large majority of men, feel that way. I don't give a fuck. Oh, it's Manson. What'd you expect? And I say that because I've seen it. I've seen these comments, and I go onto these posts thinking, okay, there's gonna be someone in here condemning him, and it's a bunch of fans, and it's just the most bullshit excuses and rationalizations for why what he did is no big deal. Like it's just use logic, you know. Like I just asked our viewer in here. I said, what do the victims gain by lying? You know, what do they gain? If you don't believe them, what do they gain by lying? I don't think they consented and then they're coming out now for attention. I don't think they need the attention. I think legitimate abuse happened. You need to know something that, you know, we're a music show, but let's fuck it. Let's get into sex, all right? If you have sex with someone, there needs to be consent. Is that so difficult? You're consenting to sex. You're not consenting to hardcore rape sex and abuse. You're not consenting to getting beat the fuck up, whether or not you've seen Marilyn Manson in music videos choking girls, okay? You need to understand, and I'm not speaking just to young XRISTTT. I'm speaking to everyone. This is entertainment. The same way that you watch a horror movie and see people murdered and know that that person is not actually a murderer, you need to look at this shit because Manson's image is what has made people complicit with this shit. It's probably has what helped him get away with it for so long. So when you tell me that no shit, it's Manson, what they didn't expect that, you are perpetrating the same rape culture that Manson has got away with for years. And the reason that I take big exception to stories like this, to abusers, to rapists, to people in the music scene and the entertainment world, is because I hate the toxic mentality that men have about saying excusing rape and excusing abuse, because in high school I was that ignorant and had that mentality, and it's boneheaded, it's stupid. You don't advance, you don't gain a better perspective from thinking that way. You don't gain notoriety, attention, being cool. You're not smarter or woke for doubting rape victims. I saw a guy today asking for physical evidence. How does one provide physical evidence of abuse? The abuse didn't happen recently.
Those are people though that are just.
But you hit them. You hit them with so you doubt the victims, and they're like, hey, I just want evidence. I just want to know. Hey, we all want to know. But you. Oh yeah, I'm arguing with all sorts of people about the shit.
See, that's where you can't let this fester. Is like, hey, it's gross. Yes, you gotta like fucking.
Oh no, I got a point to prove, and I'm gonna keep spitting it, whether or not these stubborn assholes understand it.
Like young Christ over here.
No, he's not bad. He's actually like being reasonable.
No, he's getting on it, you know. And like, but can I? Hey, young Christ, correct me if I'm wrong, and you're engaging with us, and I appreciate that. Is it safe to say that you went out and you had this like nonchalant sympathy for the victims because you're just not really like digesting the
Compassionate.
situation. Not necessarily compassionate, but I mean, I think it's safe to say that young Christ, as a human being, doesn't appreciate rape, doesn't think rape is good, right? But he heard it about Marilyn Manson. He's hearing everything about cancel culture in the news all the time. He's probably sick of cancel culture. He's probably sick of fake allegations, real allegations. He's probably just sick of reading about allegations. So when he heard Marilyn Manson got allegations against him, his probably knee-jerk reaction was to say, nah, fuck it. Manson, come on, he's a fucking freak. Nobody knew that? He's a fucking freak. Like, he's the one that's gonna fucking, like, sit there and have that reaction because he's so sick of hearing it all.
Is that a reasonable reaction?
It's not, and that's my point. People need nuance in the way that they're thinking about things, but you can't force people to do that. How did you learn your nuance? You probably got smacked in the face. You probably had a
honestly,
lesson to learn.
Honestly, I learned it. I started listening to other podcasts and hearing different points of view and realizing, wow, I have no way to defend this shitty point of view I have. And eventually things changed.
Yeah. Through growth and through time, arguing with them might help. But ultimately, you can't teach that nuance to thinking. You can't teach that rape is bad. Yeah, we all know rape is bad. People's reaction to a story about Marilyn Manson being accused by former partners X years ago, including rape, man, people are going to come with dumbed down responses to that. And it sucks that they do it in comments and on forums and on boards. But it also goes to show that, like, hey, man, I saw a home surveillance video of a guy murdered his neighbors over snow. Like, people are batshit crazy. Yep. And it sucks, like, it's just like the commenters, fuck, man. Like, it'd suck if you were on the jury because you're a fucking dumb fuck. If you're one of those people that are actually like, fucking show physical evidence. Yeah, dude. But you're an idiot. You want physical evidence? You're an idiot. That's the evidence that we need here. Case closed. Go away.
I think you're 100% right in your statement that is what the first thing that comes to mind is, and it definitely was with me. And what I think it is, and I think it relates the same way when white people are told they're being racist. You feel attacked. You feel that someone's coming for your shit. They're coming for you, and you feel targeted. Whether you are or you aren't, I think that they feel that way. So when you read on a website that an artist that you either know of or that you enjoy is now being accused of abuse and rape, that you want to immediately side with the man and say, oh, she's lying, she wants attention. Well, it is an easier thing to think. I mean, that's easier to wrap your brain around than actually somebody being abused and someone you enjoy their music being the abuser.
Yeah, you get a bad taste of life, and it kind of sucks sometimes. And people like blocking that out. They like ignoring it. It's all. I mean, people voted for Trump.
I say it all the time when it comes to racism that when people call for equality, some white people feel like there's something being taken away from them.
Oh, we're the worst.
That they can't give the equality without losing something. So subconsciously they reject it, and that's where the anger and the racism comes from. That's pretty typical. And I think that happens with dudes. I think that you hear it, it's like, oh no, not my guy Manson, not my boy. Oh, he couldn't do it. Nah, because he's had this image forever. Like, they've been saying that, nah. It would be like if 50 Cent came out tomorrow and shot someone, I'd be kind of shocked because to me he's more of a Hollywood guy, but he was a fucking gangster rapper.
I fucking, no lie. I was somewhere, maybe in California, and we were driving. This was recently in October. We were driving from like Temecula or from San Diego to home, right? Going to Temecula route. And we, for a good hot 20 to 30 minutes, were stuck behind a 50 Cent distillery truck, like all the vodka shit that he carries, the brandies and the shit that he has.
Yeah.
And it's him leaning. This was the mural that was on the back of the delivery truck. And the delivery truck wasn't an 18-wheeler, but it was like one of those bigger box delivery trucks, right? Maybe like a Wonder Bread delivery, like one of the bigger ones. And so it was legit, painted up, 50s in a fine pressed suit on the back, leaned in, all glamour shot style, right? Wristwatch, flexing hard. A bottle of like brandy or whatever he does in his hand, and then all three other bottles in front of him. and he's smiling ear to ear. And for the 20 to 30 minutes I was driving behind that truck, I thought to myself, did 50 Cent really think that this would be where his legacy led him? Is he a mogul that got shot 9 fucking times in the face, survived, came back to write some fucking
it wasn't just the face
music, some amazing fucking music,
drop some sneakers with Reebok,
one of the biggest stars in the rap game for a decade, maybe more. I don't know how deep fucking he went, but he was a fucking star. And now you are fucking making bank selling liquor, son. And you've got business deals all over the world. You're sponsoring Bellator. You're fucking paying fighters. You're going to Abu Dhabi sponsoring events. You're fucking boxing. You're all over the fucking place. Like, what box of Wheaties did you fucking eat, or what fucking did you do where you straight one day are just like skyrocketing like that?
Going off in these comments and hearing some irrational shit. Oh my god! All right,
you're getting fucking.
Yo, shouts to our boy Justin Jack for saving the day.
Eating box, my guy. Hey, first of all, 3 things.
Is that a fucking Naruto shirt?
Three things. A, fucking point with the shirt, son. On point with the shirt.
The shirt is I've been getting compliments on it all day.
Yes, you have. Your fucking hair and mustache are equally as on point, sir. Okay? You are fucking looking too fly for a white guy right now. All right? Matt can stay out of the show. Did you hear about Lil Yachty's movie? Can we talk about Lil Yachty's movie?
Yeah, so what is this Lil Yachty movie? I don't even know what the hell you're talking about.
Lil Yachty is working on a film.
That's already bad.
He is developing a film that is based on an action heist on the card game Uno.
Get ready.
He is creating the game with Mattel Films.
Oh!
And he is creating it.
Oh.
His quote, I played Uno as a kid and still do today. So to spin that into a movie based on Atlanta hip-hop, it's really going to come out special. I was really hoping to get Poni Capri's opinion on this, and she's in Atlanta now, and hear what she would have to say about Hotlanta being represented by Uno.
We'll still ask her.
Hey, real quick, a little fun fact about this, though. Uno's was created in a barbershop in the 70s.
Whoa.
So there you go. Maybe it's got some fucking relevance to the Atlanta streets. Who knows? I also played Uno nonstop during quarantine when it first started, when stores were shut down and we were doing a lot of like remote work, and then we were doing like drive up work, but nobody was going out, so we would literally just sit and play Uno for hours, and it was fucking great. So shout out to Lil Yachty and his Uno.
Okay, I'm gonna rant now. So it's poor thinking. And the lack of critical thinking skills of, I liked Uno as a kid. Let me fucking make an action movie based on a card game. That's how we ended up with a shitty movie called Battleship starring fucking Rihanna. It had nothing to do with the goddamn Milton Bradley board game. It had fucking aliens blowing up ships and fucking Rihanna. How's Rihanna in the goddamn Navy? She's from Barbados.
Jumanji wasn't that bad.
You know what? Jumanji sucked too, but Lil Yachty's fucking stupid for that. That sounds like a terrible movie. How many times have there been movies based on board games, theme park rides, comic books, and old shit? I mean, Marvel knocks it out the park, but there's been so many shitty ones. Movies are just whack now.
Can we talk about some horrible movies made of shit? Not
Dragon Ball Evolution, and that's the winner.
Not things made from movies, but movies that are made just from things. Dragon Ball Revolution is your go-to on that?
No, Dragon Ball Evolution, I was going to say, would be the worst because they took the DBZ story, just fucking shitted all over it, and changed it, and put out the worst movie ever made.
Well, yeah, but I mean...
Avatar.
I'm not sure what you're asking. Like, movies like
that's already a show, and you just made a really bad rendition of a movie like that, like Mattel Uno. Who makes a movie about fucking Uno? Like, that's stupid.
Oh, they made that crappy Dukes of Hazzard movie with Jessica Simpson.
But it was already a TV show. I mean,
I thought that's what you wanted.
Like Legends of the Hidden Temple. They were going to do a Legends of the Hidden Temple movie, but nobody wants to see that. It's a fucking game show.
I want to see that. Are you crazy?
Are you fucking crazy?
What?
Dude?
That was
I would
the
start
that was the best
Patreon
kids game show
for-
ever, dude. I saw
Yeah,
that set
a
in
movie?
real life.
What are you talking?
Yeah, make a whole
okay.
dude. I don't
The
even
game
care if
show's
they go
great.
to a real temple and it's like kids
The
in Indiana
fucking
Jones. I'll
movie.
still watch that crap.
The movie? Are you
Dude,
kidding
I don't
me?
even
Take
care if
my
kids actually die in
$14.
it either. I'll fucking
You know a kid
watch that
died in
show
the
for
temple,
sure.
right? That's why it's haunted.
what?
Oh
One
my
of the blue
God, a kid-
barracudas died in that fucking temple.
Blue Barracuda
He's
did
making
not
that
die
up.
in the. Yeah, he is. He's making it
There's
fucking.
Blue
No way.
barracudas?
It's fucking
Google it.
Silver iguanas?
silver iguana. Is
Jamie.
where it was at. Is where it was
Red
at.
monkeys?
Wasn't it?
The green monkeys.
Green
It's not
monkey.
the red
Green
monkeys.
monkey.
Yeah, it wasn't.
The
It
green monkey's
silver,
my
Silver
favorite.
snakes.
Silver snakes. And what was the iguana?
It was, I think, the green iguanas.
I don't know.
the
That seems
green
like it
are
makes
the
too much
monkeys.
sense.
Oh, the. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. We gotta.
Didn't you think it was
I'm
stupid how
fucking
you
pulled
get
up
that
right now.
Half-Life piece, but it worked just as good as a full one, so you didn't even need to like whatever? Like I just thought that was dumb. I also, fun fact about that show, it took the kids so long to complete it that 90% of the episodes you've seen were sped up, and that kids often got lost and stuck in the room with the monkey statue. They said the monkey was really difficult to put together, and that
Yeah.
only like few people ever executed it.
You just,
Because there was a
slam it
lot of-
together.
Yeah, there was a lot of shows where they would like be like 10 seconds left and they couldn't get it together and they would lose.
Yeah,
Oh,
that,
man.
apparently that monkey statue didn't go together properly, and that's what held everyone up. Also, all the
see that.
contestants were deathly scared of the temple guards.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
they're
it's
fucking
fucking
Aztec
creepy.
warriors, dude. Yeah,
And they're,
I'd be
like, half
fucking
naked.
Scared to shit too.
And they're half naked and they're grabbing children, just fucking snatching children out of the darkness.
All
By
right.
the way, it's called the orange iguana.
I'm looking it up.
Boom!
Okay, do you have the list in front of you?
It is. I do.
Okay, red jaguars, blue barracudas, green monkeys, orange iguanas, purple parrots, silver snakes.
Oh, purple parrots.
Gangster.
Gangs.
My favorite was the green monkeys because my
Silver
favorite
snakes,
colors.
son, all day. The silver shirts, that was dope as
Yeah, the
fuck.
silver shirts
I
were
love
kind of
the
cool.
purple one. The purple parrots were dope too.
They were
Yeah,
bad.
yeah, were dope.
All the games they played leading up to the temple suck, right?
No, what?
Imagine that
Yeah,
being a
yeah,
bar,
all those-
all
like
those
a
games are
bar game
stupid.
Show.
The steps of knowledge were dope, son.
No, Steps of Knowledge was stupid. The shit with the water was stupid. Everything they did leading up to the temple was dumb until they got to the temple.
Hey, real quick though,
Temple
Guts
was
was
fire.
the game.
Guts was pretty
Global
dope.
Guts.
I watched somebody do like a breakdown of like Guts and like just like Google where they're at now, and it was pretty funny.
Oh my god!
Like, try to find the Instagram account.
I want to
of
know what
people
happened
that
to
did
Mo,
Oh,
because we know what happened to Mike O'Malley, but what happened to Mo?
hold on, I got you.
Does she still have a whistle?
I'm getting there.
All right. Well, Brian looks that up. All right, since we are already
Dude,
we're already
Mo,
nearing the end of the
hot
show.
one, right?
She had an accent.
I don't.
Was she hot?
Moria
Oh,
Kirk,
she was
we were like
cute.
Moria-
7 when we watched that
Mo-
shit.
Moria
Dude,
Shannon.
was
Kirk,
it her?
English actress. Yep.
Tell me she's still alive.
Dude,
Quirk is
She-
married to comedian Michael Rayner. They have 2 daughters.
Oh, good for them.
Damn.
They're happy.
She does a lot of voice acting. She did Happy 2 Feet.
Oh.
She was on the
Ooh, for her.
Avengers Earth's Mightiest Heroes.
Oh wow.
She was on DreamWorks Dragons, Rescue Riders. Yeah.
she was in Avengers. Fucking, that's right. Let me see here.
She did What's New Scooby Doo, The Elder Scrolls. Oh, she's done some video games. Yeah, she did The Elder Scrolls. She did Star Wars: The Old Republic. She also did XCOM: Enemy Unknown.
Fun times. I want to get into voice acting real bad. So, as we're nearing the end of the show, I have 4 tidbits of news, and I don't actually think that they're all interesting. So, how about I tell you what the news is, and you can say if you want to discuss it or go deeper into it, all right? We'll
Let's
just
go.
do a smash or pass, all right?
Smash or pass? Yes, on a show where we're anti-rape. I love it.
All right, so Prince's
Let's go.
white dove named Divinity died. Smash or pass?
What?
Smash it. Let's hear
Smash? Justin, you want to hear about Prince's dead pigeon? Dove?
Oh,
Dove.
sure.
Dove, sir.
Absolutely. It's a dove.
Okay, so
dead
Prince's white dove was named Divinity. It was 28 years old, and it died. Moving on. 50 Cent.
Hold up.
Can we have like a moment of silence or something?
First of all, not just a moment of silence.
Not
but
for the
nobody-
pigeon.
Nobody's gonna dub, sir,
Maybe for Prince.
dub, and nobody's gonna question how this bird lived for 28 fucking years. Is that an average lifespan for a dove?
I think so, because like when I was a little boy,
I was
like,
actually
dude,
raising
I
my
wasn't
hand
even
first.
born yet, and my brother had a bird land on his head, and that shit lived until I was like 27, dude.
On his head? It lived on his head.
Dude, no, it flew onto his head, like before I was even born, and like that bird was around until it died because a cat got it. Like it still had years in it, and it was like 20-something years. And
Still had years in it.
still had some miles on it.
Average age
You just give it a good
Of
2
lifespan.
dove.
1.5 years. What are you talking about?
Oh my god!
28
Wait, what?
The
It's a
oldest
cockatiel.
the average lifespan of an adult mourning dove is 1.5 years. The oldest known free living bird discovered through bird banding research was 31 years old. How in the fuck do you get a lifespan discrepancy of 1.5 years to 31?
Look, I
Yeah,
know
the guy
that
that
at one
fucking
point
dude
Prince
that was on
only ate
drugs.
bread and water, like was only doing bread and water. So I bet you that's what the dove was doing. Probably had a killer diet, you know, and just
Killer
probably lived
diet of
forever.
breadcrumbs and water.
Divinity, Princess White Dove, dead at 28. Oh my gosh.
See, I'm not lying. I didn't make it up. Jamie corroborated the shit. All right, so we got through that. So
How in the fuck now at 28
Get
years?
fucked, bird.
yeah, get fucked.
Bird
So
had a
50.
better life than most impoverished children in third world countries. What the fuck?
Jesus. 50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather want to fight each other in a boxing ring. Smash or pass?
Smash, absolutely. Let's go.
Wait, 50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather? Isn't he? Wait, Floyd Mayweather.
Senior
Okay,
and
go ahead
junior?
and go. Go ahead and go.
Okay, we're just gonna go.
I need information on it. Fuck
Senior
you.
and junior.
So 50 Cent and Floyd Mayweather have been beefing for years. 8 years ago, might have been 7, when everyone was doing that ALCS challenge, not the American League Championship Series, but the disease, and they were dumping ice on each other, he decided to film an ice bucket challenge. And he's got the bucket of ice on the railing of his patio, and he says, I'll fight you if you can read one paragraph of a Harry Potter book. And then he says if they fight that he'll donate I forgot how much money, it was like 25,000 or something, to a charitable organization of his choosing. And then he said fuck this ice and threw the ice out. So now they're nearing closer to a fight. This could be worked out as a celebrity thing. We see like that's exhibition. Well, it ain't gonna be for no WBO fucking heavyweight belt or nothing.
So let's break that down real quick. If it is an exhibition, they'll likely do 8-minute rounds or 8 rounds, 2 minutes each. So 8 2-minute rounds. They'll have celebrity scoring. There's not going to be real scorecards. There will be a referee for safety purposes. It's going to be a glorified boxing match. Yes, Justin, you have a question?
Isn't he already fighting Logan Paul?
No.
Or-
No, someone else is.
Jake Paul's fighting Ben Askren.
Yeah.
I know, but Logan Paul announced that he was that a joke?
No, he wanted
No.
to. It never got off the
I
ground.
swore that
He-
was like an actual flyer.
Nah, he kept mouthing off to him to get Floyd to do something, and it got close, but there's no agreement, so nothing's
Anyways,
happening now.
Floyd
So-
Mayweather absolutely pieces up anybody he steps in the ring with. Now, if they're going to be doing exhibition, there's not like a weight thing on there. 50 Cent could come in jacked. And I believe 50 Cent has a puncher's chance. But come on, it's Floyd Mayweather, son.
You're going against the best defensive technical boxer we might have ever seen.
I'm excited. I'm excited if this does happen.
Floyd's hard to hit.
I want to see 50 throw. I want to see 50 Cent throw some shit.
50 could go in there buff as shit. It wouldn't matter.
Didn't they
Dude,
fight
he's
in the
got like
Whataburger
fucking
in
metal
Vegas?
in his head.
Didn't they get in a scrap at the Whataburger in Vegas?
There's a Whataburger in Vegas?
Oh, come on, son.
I
Fat
don't
Burger.
think there
Fat
is.
Burger. Fat
Okay,
Burger.
okay,
Fat
yeah.
Burger's
There's
Fat
definitely. I
Burger
know
in Vegas.
exactly where the Fat Burger is.
Yeah.
I marked the bandwagon there. I don't know. I know Floyd Mayweather legitimately knocked out the Big Show, and he got paid $1 million.
Oh,
Big Show
T.I.
did.
and Floyd Mayweather fought at Fat Burger in Vegas. Yes, T.I. and Floyd Mayweather.
T.I., he ain't gonna fight nobody. He'll shoot you. I just want to see this shit go down. You know, I want to see.
Yes.
I want to see 50 keep mouthing off. It's funny.
Me too.
I recommend anyone to go watch that video because it's so goddamn funny. And the way he says a particular racial slur just the way he words it to Floyd was just funny as fuck in that video.
And hey, the rumors of Floyd not being able to read, real quick, those are like inside. 50 said that because someone in the industry that knows Floyd and knows 50 goes, yeah, Floyd can't read.
He
And
can't.
like, that's why, I mean, we don't have
I
to
mean,
talk-
he gets hit in the head really hard for a
He
living.
couldn't read
I would-
beforehand.
he doesn't get hit in the head very much.
He doesn't
Well,
get
yeah.
hit.
That's his whole thing.
Well, it's been his profession.
Remember
I mean,
how
I'm sure he gets
awful
hit
that
in the head.
Pacquiao fight was?
He's-
Nobody got hit.
He just can't read. He's never learned how to read, let's be honest.
Oh my god, there's plenty of people like that.
Still doesn't have that in his
Not that
corner.
All right, I got to meet my parole officer in 10 minutes. Let's speed this
All right.
along. The next
go
news
short.
I have on the docket. Do we care about Lil Baby and his first Super Bowl commercial?
Pass.
Pass.
Can we talk about real quick a Super
All right, so
Bowl?
Lil Baby's going to be in a Super Bowl commercial for Rockstar Energy Drink. Moving on. The last bit of news, I wanted to crack a shitty joke because it would have been funny, but after reading some further news on it, I felt like a terrible human being. Dustin Screech Diamond, the guy we know who played Screech on Saved by the Bell, unfortunately has passed away at the age of 44. It was revealed a couple weeks ago that he was diagnosed in already stage 4 cancer, colon cancer, I believe. Damn near a death sentence. He apparently had some dying wishes. His dying wish was to meet Justin Chancellor, the bass player for Tool, and he wanted to visit Disney World to see Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I do too.
That's cool.
What broke my heart and made me decide to go against any sort of fucking joke is that Dustin decided to be cremated because he felt that if he was buried underneath a tombstone, that people would deface it, and he didn't want that. And I think he was very heads up in that, and that sadly he was probably right, that somebody eventually for attention is going to go deface Screech's tombstone because he's Screech and it's an easy target, or any stupid fucking reason. And it just made me sad. I think funerals are a huge sham anyways. I think that they profit off of death and the mourning and sad families that are grieving, and it's not right. They're way too expensive. Yeah, that's something I never thought I'd utter on the show, but fuck funerals. So I agree with that. And I just want to say big up to Dustin Diamond. Big up to Screech. Rest in power. That dude was a baller. Do you know that man claims to have sex with 2,000 women? It's probably the wrong episode to be bragging about that, and it might even be made up, but those are Wilt Chamberlain numbers. He used to say that he had a method for picking up girls at Disneyland. I did too, but it wasn't his. He said he would walk around with a friend all day, walk around, usually international tourists, until they identified him as Screech, and they would play it up, and eventually they would go on a dark ride. He says the Haunted Mansion and Peter Pan are the best for this, because the Haunted Mansion is a 9-minute dark ride, and that they would hook up in the ride. That guy is my hero, because sex and Disneyland are awesome, and you combine the two with consenting adults, holler. So rest in power, Dustin Diamond.
Not to mention, Dustin Diamond was a huge professional wrestling fan. He actually appeared in Memphis Championship Wrestling. He was also on NWA TNAs for a while. Asylum, their weekly pay-per-view that they did.
He directed and starred in a porn that he later told was a porn double. He was actually not starring in it. Dick double.
Yeah, and he had small cell lung carcinoma, which was horrible. Sucks.
Yeah,
He was only allowed to get 1 round of chemotherapy, and he was diagnosed earlier in January. Fucking sucks, man, because you know 44, you don't really understand.
44 is young. It ain't young when you're 12, but 44, 40 years old is a young age.
Man, we were little. I mean, late 80s was Saved by the Bell, right? But I mean, we were young, 4 or 5.
Early 90s, I watched Saved by the Bell as a child.
Yeah,
My
man.
first ever crush was Kelly. It was Tiffany Amber Thiessen.
Yeah.
I mean, she was the hottest chick in the 90s at the time.
Y'all too old for me. I mean, still respect to Screech, but I was Boy Meets World.
I mean, Boy Meets World too, my guy.
Quality. The TGIF lineup on Friday nights.
Yes, sir. Step by step, Family Matters. Come on, my guy. You know,
My girlfriend doesn't know what Step by Step is. Do I break up with her?
I know, don't break up with her. What you do though is you watch the Dinosaurs. That's on Disney Plus right now, so for sure.
Not
watch
the mama.
Dinosaurs. Second, you go down the deep dark rabbit hole of conspiracies behind Step by Step. Half the cast are fucking weirdos, including Suzanne Summers. Also, homeboy that was the karate guy, that
Cody.
was my cousin Cody, who's dead now.
Didn't he jump off the Golden Gate or something crazy, or climbed it?
He for sure murdered his wife. I know that.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Hey, what do we got for the rest of the week, fellas?
Mr. Feeney's still alive,
Yeah, he is. Shout out Mr. Feeney.
still kicking.
By the way, this episode of I Hate the Scene is brought to you by not murdering your wife and fuck Morgan Wallen, because being a country singer that's racist is the dumbest shit in 2021. You racist, disgusting, berating service industry worker piece of shit. Fuck Morgan Wallen. Also ACAB. So next week, I don't know. Is next week? Was that
Next week we're gonna have a guest up until showtime. Then we're not gonna have one, guys. Get ready for it. It's gonna be awesome.
We're gonna do the same thing next week. So,
So next week we are going to have a Scent Like Wolves. Brian's stoked because he said they sound like old Skylit Drive, and their publicist actually agreed. So we're stoked to have them on. We're also going to be listening to their music probably all week because I need to read up on that. We're also going to have an interview with Poni Capri that was supposed to appear on this episode. Had some miscommunications and some things, and she wasn't able to appear. So we're going to handle that this week. Check on our socials for when that'll be dropping. It'll be at the same platform. So if you're subscribed on YouTube, you will get notified. So make sure you subscribe to all of our platforms. Justin, Jack, where can people find you besides the Moreno Valley Mall?
they can find me on Twitter
Moreno Valley Mall.
Justin B2.
Justin
Correct.
calls me earlier and he's at the Moreno Valley Mall, and I'm like, okay, why? Like, isn't like half that mall closed?
Dude, check it out. That's
Would
why.
you- Oh, who is that?
Bellinger.
Oh, okay, thank God it's not Kershaw. I was gonna say, dude. Didn't
got
you
a
just
Cody
land a
Bellinger.
new player? Didn't you get Trevor Bauer?
We did get Trevor Bauer. That
Yeah.
literally was just announced a couple hours ago. I was
Yeah, good for
freaking
you,
out.
buddy.
Yeah, it's not a bad pool.
It's not bad. Brian, where can they find you?
You can find me at Of Brian of Death on Instagram and Twitter. You can also find my podcast, The Common Chaos Podcast, at The Common Chaos on Instagram and Twitter. Got a new episode out for you guys. Matt, you said we have a Scent Like Wolves next week. They're fucking exciting, man. They're super heavy.
We have a Scent Like Wolves. It's gonna be dope.
I've been saying it, and let it be known that I've been saying it, but I believe that we're going to feel a post-hardcore revival in 2021 over the next year or two.
That would make me happy.
You know, I wouldn't mind it, man. I would, and a good post-hardcore, not this like weird slaves shit. You know, weird, like, not to call out
Who?
slaves. I like slaves. I said slaves, but not to
Who?
call
I
them
don't even know. I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, Matt, where can they find you?
You can find me on Instagram at iHateTheScene. You can find me on Twitter at IH8TE, often duplicated, but never actually imitated, immersed. Anyways, yeah, so that's my Twitter name because some dumb son of a bitch stole the actual handle I wanted to use.
Fred Dewani, listen, we have your daughter, and
Whoa.
you know, I just
I
all we want is the fucking handle. That's all
He
we
has
want.
your daughter.
That's
I
all
don't
we
have your
want.
daughter.
He has
That's
your
all we fucking
daughter. God damn it.
I never had. I don't even know your
He
daughter.
does. You better.
You can also
find
find us on all of our platforms that we stream live, like facebook.com/iHateTheScene, twitch.tv/iHateTheScene, and the most important one. Are you ready? Follow me on this. youtube.com/C. That's a C. /iHateTheScene. I'm going to say it again. youtube.com/C/iHateTheScene. Rate, review, subscribe, unsubscribe, re-rate, re-review, resubscribe. We're trying to feed our kids here. The YouTube subscriptions matter the most. And if you don't remember those links, iHateTheScene.com for all your music, entertainment, gaming needs. We're going to have some super sweet episodes coming up here, folks. We brought you new music all 2020, and we're going to do it again. We're going to bring you a bunch of cool bands and some familiar faces, people you like, people reuniting. It's going to be good. All this Velocity Records talk.
I was just going to say, everybody
I
go
want to
check out
bring
the pizza.
Shapiro on here or something, man. Like, there's good shit over there.
I was inside
They got
of
good
an
shit, man.
FYE today. Or an FYE. Yeah.
Hey, yeah,
Justin,
that's
do
why
you know about
here.
Velocity coming back?
No.
Good. You're going to be stoked for this. Remember Velocity Records that was a part of Rise? It's that little imprint that Dave Shapiro from the agency group
so.
started.
I believe
So they had signed bands like Secrets and Abandon All Ships and stuff like that. Okay, so now they're back. They're teamed up with Equal Vision Records, and they've announced their roster, and it's unbelievable, dude. They've got Dead American, Glasslands, Scary Kids, Scaring Kids, Drugs, Destroy, Rebuild Until God Shows is going to return on that label. Secrets is on that label. Thursday is on that label.
Ooh.
Michael Bone's band, The Villa. And that Dead American band features Cove Reber. Also, I saw another band, I think it's a death metal band, I said featuring Scott Vogel. Why have I heard that name? Who the fuck is Scott Vogel?
Scott Vogel does his own thing. Yeah, he's like, you can go listen to Scott
Okay,
Vogel.
so that's why it specifically said featuring Scott Vogel. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah,
I was
they
like,
didn't
Frank
have it.
Vogel is the coach of the Lakers. Okay, no one cares. All right, I'll just see myself.
All right, guys. Hey, thank you for tuning in. I Hate the Scene this week. We'll be back next week, same time, same location. Justin, remember that one time when I told you that you could go and suck my dick?
I knew I was fucked.